Welcome and thank you for joining another Twitter space of the Internet of Value. Sorry, I think my speaker. Sorry about that. Welcome and thank you for joining us for another Twitter space of the Internet of Value Open Forum. Today is July 15th, 2022, and this is episode 11. Now, I just want to say that ledgerscale Foundation was founded with two goals in mind. One, we want to scale up the number of brains that understand how distributed ledger technology works. And two, one day we intend to run hardware and infrastructure for the distributed ledger technologies that we believe are ESG friendly and running a form of decentralized consensus. Now, we do these spaces Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday starting at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. And on Wednesday, we do a focus topic from 5 to 6 Eastern Standard Time. If you could go over and give us a follow at the ledgerscale account, and subscribe to us on YouTube, because we are streaming these daily to YouTube just in case you miss it and prefer YouTube over the Twitter platform.
Yeah, for sure. And so like our goal here is to engage the community. So please, anybody has a question, I see some people have their hand raised. Give me 1 second, I'll bring you up. I'm sure if you've got a question or you're curious about something, somebody else is probably curious about the same thing. And it's an open forum. Just please be cordial if you choose to speak up, and welcome to the space. So Wednesday's chat is going to be the focus chat will be with Dr. Martin from Uphold, and we're going to focus on the stable coins and CBDC. So that should be interesting, just to give you a heads up.
It's already a very favorite topic of mine, and that we talk about it so often that it's gonna be good to see his opinion, because I know he's a figure at Uphold.
Well, yeah, and I think so. I don't know if you've noticed, but Gary Gensler has started talking about banking regulation along with CFTC and SEC, and all of a sudden he's added in some of his public comments, oh yeah, banking regulation. And I'm like, dude, I think the stable coins, outside of the Ripple case, I think stable coins have a chance to get regulated to get like regulatory clarity before the rest of crypto.
Yeah, I think so. I think it will be, for sure. I think stablecoins and maybe eventually CBDCs will be the biggest thing that comes from the blockchain innovation.
We'll wait till Wednesday. I'm not sure. I see your point. I get it. I'm just not sure.
In a value comparison. So if you think about it, like, what will everything be purchased with in the future? I think most things will probably be purchased with stable coins, and then for central banks probably trading back and forth, they'll have their own CBDCs and have some sort of median. It In the sense of where the value transfer is, right? I mean, it's all in the stable coins, right? It's like all the world's money in the sense. So I that's where I think, like, it's like the biggest thing to come from it, just because of how it'll be used.
Well, I'll wait till Wednesday. But I think that I don't want to like pre-discuss the top, although we can. I mean, whatever, if that's what people want to talk about. But I think there's 2 or 3 different avenues this could unfold down, and I'm really not sure which one it's going to go. The regulation stuff will help determine that.
Yeah, and we've seen Russia make a move today, and who knows if this is 100% legit, because we've heard things like this a couple times, but apparently it's now a law in Russia that digital assets can't be used to make purchases, which to me makes sense. But particularly everybody's talking about it as in the Bitcoin idea, right? Now you can't spend your Bitcoin there. The whole, I guess, idea of it behind Bitcoin is gone over there.
Dude, there was this whole article I read probably a year ago, and I had no idea this kind of thing existed. But it was in Russia, and okay, it was this kind of pretty capable, technically capable guy, and he was on the dark web. And so he was like, found this person saying, hey, take our software, and if you can basically, like, it's ransomware. So they were like, hey, take our ransomware, and if you can get, if you have these skills, then you should be able to get into, and execute the ransomware, um, or penetrate the target's system, if you will, and we'll pay you. And then he was, this was a white hat guy, so he was like, oh well, let me, I've got those skills, so let me ask you some questions. How do I get paid, right? And there was a split, blah blah blah. But the crazy thing to me was he got down the rabbit hole far enough, and the person was like, oh well, if you are in Russia, we can up to $1 million have someone meet you physically at a place of your choosing and time, and give you up to $1 million cash. It was like a gateway. Like, imagine Coinbase sending in a customer service person to like hand you a bag of $1 million or whatever. Like, dude, it just sounded like crazy stuff. But, and I think it makes sense that this is things I harp on, to not, like, taxes have to be paid in the fiat currency, right? That creates demand, annual demand for the dollars or euros or whatever the fiat denomination is. If you start having, it'd be almost, if you start having a bunch of these cryptos, and like the people are using them for transactional, like, payment purposes, then in a domestic economy, it kind of like takes you back to like the mid late 1800s, when all the different local banks kind of just printed their own currency, and whatever, that was that. And then there was books, and it was just a mess. There was books that had the FX rates for, like, if I'm bank A and you're bank B, and someone brings me a check from your bank, I might not value it at par, like at $1. Like, it's a dollar check, I might only value it at 90 cents or something. There was all sorts of issues. And I don't think it's really reasonable to reintroduce all those issues. I mean, there's just like on the internet, right? There's benefits to standardization and protocols. Same with, think of currency as a network. If you're using the same protocol, you're good. That's why interledger protocol is so big, or such a big deal.
Hey, Karma, Seth, where are you guys?
Good, man. How
Karma,
you doing?
What's up, Tony?
pretty good, pretty good. I had a question. So, Karma, you mentioned something in the chat about capital flight. He's afraid of capital flight, as in Putin is afraid of capital flight. Can you go into a little bit more detail on that?
Well, let's look at one of the benefits of crypto. I used to make the joke. Who asked that, Tony?
Yeah, me.
So I used to make the joke a few years back. I'd be like, "Hey, Tony, I'm gonna send you $20 real quick. I'm gonna put it in the CD tray of my computer. I'll email it right over. Did you get it? Did you get the $20? I sent it. Like, oh, it's still stuck in the CD tray. Oh, I guess you didn't get, like, there's a functionality situation here. So, I can't use paper cash unless I physically meet you. But, I don't think I've physically met anybody in this chat. So I could have never, used cash as an actual payment option. This, where digital currencies have a a super advantage. I mean, this is why the cross border, I think, is one of the things Ripple keyed in on, because it just makes sense. And so with the I don't know if that's true article or not, but if Russia or any country says, like, this is why I think it's insane for these governments to, like, you've seen Miami, and I think there was one in Texas or Arizona or something, and they were like, oh, you can pay your taxes in Bitcoin. No, 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 no. Bad idea. Super bad idea. Because anyway, back to the capital flight thing, you you could memorize a secret key pair, right? Or you could put it on a piece of paper and escape, or you could, put it in an encrypted file and send it to someone outside of Russia. And, if you're selling ruples and buying crypto of some nature, some sort, that money, that value can instantly, like, leave the Russian jurisdiction. And already for many, many years, I mean, look at all the rich Russians. They take their money and they leave Russia, right? Like, they buy property in America and Europe and London and yachts and, other places. Like, they get their money the hell out of Russia. Crypto makes that even easier for the small guy, I guess. I mean, you don't even need to physically leave the jurisdiction. I mean, this could be America too. It doesn't matter which country you're talking about. Just the practicality of it. You don't even have to physically leave the country to move the money out of the country. And yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Go ahead, Wolf. You got a question? Thank you for coming.
No, I just wanted. Yeah, thanks for coming up. No, I just wanted to say, great point, Karma. But you don't actually have to meet people physically to get the paper cash, because you can mail them also. Yeah, it's stress as fuck. It was just meant as a joke.
I mean, I guess that's probably true. Now you got records and stuff. If you're trying to do black hat stuff, then you probably don't want to be having I don't know, man. Crypto is really not the best thing in the world to use for crime, though. Really, not a bad idea for that purpose.
Like that Silk Road guy, right?
Yeah, everybody thought everything was anonymous back then. They walk into a library and they were like, "Hey, mister," I forget the dude's name. I think he's still in jail.
He's serving multiple life sentences, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, dude, it's an open public ledger. I mean, come on, you don't. I know people in here know this stuff, but maybe your average person, it's so weird to me when people are like, "Oh, it's an anonymous thing." No, it's not. It's a freaking open public thing.
I still have discussions with people in real life who I went to school with, college, university with, and they still believe that. They say, "Well, it's where you go to do money laundering because it's all anonymous." Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, no. No. And I mean, you might be able to kind of be quasi unknown, or what's the term? Pseudo anonymous on Ledger. But I mean, this was one of the big hangups that Ripple ran into when they first went going to pitch the banks. Because the banks are like, dude, my customers are not going to allow us. They're not going to be okay with us as their bank running all of their transactions through a public ledger. Like, these companies are not going to, that's not, think of like an SME or Fortune 500 type company. Okay, there's people, like, there's like corporate spies and stuff like this There's people that will put money into backtracing and building analytics to retrace that and track what, you know, Tesla is doing. Or pick a company, it doesn't matter. And, you know, you could track their cash flows. Like I remember watching a thing with, I'm pretty sure it was Warren Buffett. And he had analyzed the flow of China. And then he went and met with them. Excuse me. And he was, you know, I mean, this was a casual interview, but he was just saying, you know, they were shocked at how accurate he was able to get. And he's doing that on paper. I mean, there's more advanced tools than paper. But, you know, he was just looking at the resource flows and the capital flows and all this stuff. And you can put together a pretty good picture if you know what you're doing, anyhow.
Can I ask this question? I'm going to change the topic a little bit.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to ask about Flare. So from a trusted source yesterday, they talk about the airdrop, and it seems like it's different than what I thought it would be. Okay, I heard that the airdrop is you would receive the 15%, and you have to actually delegate the 15% in order to get the rest of the 85%. Is that correct?
Well, so it's not yet, but yeah, that's the proposal that's going to be put out, and then the nodes are going to vote on it before they do the distribution. But yeah, so essentially what they're trying to do is get rid of the exchanges as the middleman. So
Okay.
if you were planning on taking that first initial 15% and then dumping it, and then, you know, planning on getting more, that's the only person in the sense that it's going to not be beneficial for, right? Because if you were, per se, using an exchange and you got your initial 15%, well, the exchange is on the line to give you that extra drop that you get every month, which is going to be like your 2 to 3% for the next like 32 months.
Okay.
So obviously, with all the exchanges closing down, it's not the best idea. It doesn't have a good look anymore, right? So what they're trying to do is get around that. And so everybody gets their first initial 15%. And if everybody who wants to participate, right, just goes and delegates, they're going to get the rest of it. And it also leaves the option for people who participate and maybe people who, in a sense, get their way in through the market. They could also be rewarded.
Okay, so let me be more specific, because now let's say we have two cases now. Mine is on the ledger. I have like Ethereum address. I'm gonna receive it on my Ledger Nano. Okay, so if I want to get the 85%, I have to delegate using the Ethereum address that I used. Is that correct?
Well, so you would just download. It'll probably be a Flare app on your Ledger, and you'll just download it. And I don't know if Ledger has the bridge yet, or you still have to use MetaMask, but it'll be as easy as just like clicking the link MetaMask button, right? Linking your MetaMask to Ledger, and then delegating online to one of the FTSOs if you really want.
But the thing is, I have like what's called Bifrost
Or you
wallet.
can Bifrost, yeah.
No, but here's the thing. Because with Songbird, because we received 100% of Songbird, so what I did is I transferred the Songbird from my ledger to the Bifrost, which most likely the Bifrost has its own address. Okay, I cannot do that with the 15% I'm gonna receive from Flare. I cannot transfer it to the Bifrost with a different address.
You'll be able to. So when Flare actually goes live, token distribution happens. You'll have a Flare app on your Ledger. It'll probably be as easy as just accessing that. You'll see your Flare, and then you could just send it to your Bifrost, which will have a Flare wallet.
Yes, but it's going to be a different address.
That's fine. So it's not attached to the address. So what happens is the first month, and they're going to give everybody probably a couple ample weeks before starting delegation, so that everybody can get in place. Wherever your 15% is, when you move it to wherever wallet it is, when you delegate, it's really like when you delegate, you're just going to be getting extra rewards, right? That whole, basically, everybody's getting the initial 15% dropped, and all of those rewards are going into the pool.
Okay.
So you could either go and collect them by delegating and even maybe get extra if people don't participate.
Okay.
Right.
So let me ask you a question, because now it makes sense. Okay. Let me ask you: is that why Flare price went up the past 2 days? Because basically, what I can do right now, I can go buy the IOU on an exchange and just to get the rest of the airdrop, because basically it's a free airdrop, you know.
Yeah, and so essentially, you're getting the people who aren't dumping, right? The people who are going to hold and delegate will be receiving extra rewards. So yeah, it's a possibility that people saw that and wanted to take up the opportunity to get as much of the drop as they could.
Okay, because the way it was explained to me like yesterday, that if I have Flare on my Ledger Nano and I have Ethereum address, this Ethereum address need to be used to actually have my the rest of my airdrop, you know, to delegate. But then the exchange part that kind of confused me. Like, okay, if people's gonna get it from the exchange, like
Yeah,
how can you
exactly,
change
exactly.
address, you know?
Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense because the exchange
Yeah.
was. Yeah. So the idea is you're going to get your 15%. Exchanges give everyone their 15%. Flare will probably wait until everybody is in order, right? That make sure that the exchanges gave their 15%, and then it's up to you to take it off the exchange and then to go delegate it. Or you can. I don't know if the exchange itself would have that responsibility and want to do it for you, but highly doubt most would.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty big undertaking for. I forget. I was talking to somebody
Okay.
about this from one of
Yeah,
the exchanges.
Karma, let me ask you a question. Sorry, Karma. I'm going to ask you a question, Karma. When I asked this question, did you have or anybody in the space? Because I asked this question, does any of you had idea about this? Was
About
it
about what?
about the question I ask right now? Because for me, it was a surprise. You know what I mean? I didn't know anything of this until last night. Okay. Did
Oh
you have
no,
idea?
they said that a while ago. There was a whole because there was
Uh,
a whole conversation maybe about a year or so ago about
no, but
the nature of the taxation and if you get the airdrop as one lump sum, maybe it falls under the
no,
cap. I think we just talked about this the other day.
no, but that wasn't my question. So my question, because I thought what's going to happen is, okay, it would be like Songbird. So basically, I'm going to get the 15% on my Ethereum address, okay? And I can take it out, do whatever I want with it. And then every month, I will get the 3% on my Ethereum address every month. But that's not the case now. That's different now. Is that correct, Des?
Correct.
Yep. That's my question. Did anybody know that it's actually going to be different?
Well, so it was like a week and a half ago that Hugo talked about the proposal because remember it has to be voted on.
Yep.
So once the network is fully decentralized, they have less than 33% of the consensus, so less than 33% of the voting power. The proposal will go up, and I mean honestly, I'm pretty sure it's going to pass. Everyone I've spoke to so far has thought it's a great idea because just like how you said you were going to get that 3%, 2 to 3% in your wallet every month.
Yep.
Well, exchanges were also going to get that 2 to 3% every month, and then they'd have to give it to the people who were, who were supposed to get it from the
Yep.
allocation. And so
Well,
taking that
let me,
out of the equation.
let me say two things. Um, that proposal came out of the conversation I was talking about because if you set up the airdrop in a way where you get 2 to 3% every month, it's not known because we don't have any freaking laws, but could potentially make the airdrop fall into your ordinary income tax bracket, which is in all likelihood higher than capital gains, at least in the States. Versus if you get it all at once, it falls into the capital gains tax bucket. Was the conversation that was the end result of that conversation? The other thing I wanted to say is on these exchanges, man, they got their work cut out for them because think about having to. Okay, not only do you now need to develop, this is regarding the delegation from about 1 or 2 topics ago. Not only do they have to to build like an interface and probably run a node on each one of these various crypto ledgers. But now, like, they got to run an interface so that, you know, you could log into, say, Coinbase and, you know, delegate your Flare votes and then, like, multiply that by how many networks? I mean, dude, they got a lot of work. They're not going to keep up. I mean, they're going to get behind the mark. They already are, really, but they're going to stay behind the mark for a while. There's too much. I mean,
Yeah, I think it's mostly happened because the exchanges. Like, I think the main, like, if I understand correctly, the main goal of doing this is because the exchanges and people has hard time with exchanges. But I could be wrong. So
well, I mean, even the self-custody stuff, like, look at ledgers. I don't think you can do everything. You can't get full functionality out of the Flare network with a ledger.
no, you can't. No, you can't. Yeah. So there's one more question. Sorry. The validator in the buy, not the buy, like in buy, in the, what's the name of the, sorry, the wallet? It's called, yeah, buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bifrost wallet. Like when I get my Songbird, I go and I can validate it to a different validators. You know, are the same validator for the Songbird? They will be for Flare or
For the majority of them. Yep. And this is what we're waiting for right now. So
Okay.
the first block was minted. And so what we're allowing to happen right now is all of those same FTSOs are moving and migrating over, and then so they have to move their code over to Flare and then run
Okay.
it.
And I hope my question helping people to understand, because I was so surprised yesterday with this change. Maybe because I wasn't following. The reason why I wasn't following, I was like, okay, just let them fight the fight, and then I will get the information when they, because I see there is bull like, you know, like there is a question.
Negative, everything now, of course, because
Yeah.
the only people it doesn't benefit is the people who were just going to get the 15% and then dump it at first.
Yeah, and I see people like kind of. I'm not gonna say fighting. They fighting with the Flare people. You know what I mean? Oh, you shouldn't do that. You should do that. Blah blah. So I was like, you know what? You know what? I'm just gonna let them fight, and at the end, I will know how they are gonna do it. You know. But then I find out this information yesterday. I was like, oh, that's a new information. You know. Okay.
Yeah, and you know, to what Karma was saying before, I mean, like ever since they even did just the Songbird drop, there's always the discussion has always been an up in arms on how to do the drop, the distribution right. So it is definitely something that has always been kind of talked about. It's just finally there was like flares coming out, and then there's a proposal that the Flare team is going to put out to change the distribution.
And I'll be honest with you, that's like the XRB community. Seriously, it's kind of ridiculous the way they fight. You know, with this. Like I understand everything, but okay. But that's me. It's personal. Okay, it's a free it's a free airdrop. Like I did like it's just a free. You know, so I'm not gonna fight this fight because it's like, oh, you know what, whatever Flare wanna do, hey, they can do it. Whatever proposals they wanna go with it. If I'm gonna have to vote, yeah, I'm gonna vote. There is no issue, but the fight on Twitter about it is just kind of ridiculous, be honest with you.
One of the things I think that's so kind of cool with the thinking behind, well, at least some of the thinking, there's other things I think are cool that are different thinking. But one part of it is if you don't participate in the Flare network, you'll get inflated away.
Yeah.
So there's all the incentive in the world to actually use the technology, participate in the network, vote, delegate, you know, use F assets, run smart contracts. Like there's all the incentives are kind of funneled down into like use the freaking network. And frankly, if nobody uses the network, it's not going to be worth anything. It's a complete giant waste of time.
Yep.
So
I have one more question for this. When I ask question, I keep asking questions. It's annoying, but okay. So
Not annoying. Good.
So is the first month is the most important month? Is that correct?
Yeah,
Like,
so I think it's going to be the first 30 days. Is so there's going to be two different smart contracts which will be releasing the SGB, right? And so a couple different snapshots that will occur. One snapshot having to do with your regular FTSO delegation rewards, right? And the other one to just calculate how much you have in your wallet and then how much based off the portion of the pool that you should be receiving from that 85% that was not initially, that's not being handed out for the 2 to 3 months.
Do you know the timing of the snapshot for the
No,
80?
and they're going to keep them random. They're not going to tell anybody anything. 100%. It's going to be a random code, so it's going to be randomly done when the snapshots.
But it's the first month.
But it's going to be occurring in the first 30 days, I think, after they give people ample time for delegation to be done. Like, if the distribution of the token happens, I highly doubt we're going to be delegating that same week. It'll probably give them like 2 weeks or so for the exchanges to be able to give the tokens to everybody and them to be able to.
I'm not, Death, I'm not sure I followed that. So the 15%, fine, you get that airdropped, right? Then you're saying within 30 days, what is the delegation? Is that not delegating like on Songbird? Is that like, or are you talking like voting on the proposal? Like, what's the random date? What's the purpose of the random date?
Well, so the random date would be just for the snapshots that are going to be taking place for the network. So essentially, I think they're going to have two different pools, right? One for the one that comes from the FTSOs, which are being rewarded for the FTSOs providing a price feed, and the other one would be just from a smart contract that's releasing whatever that 2 to 3% allocation would really be. It's just instead of it being through like going towards whatever wallet was that you had before, it's just based off of whatever your holdings is in that particular wallet.
Yeah, so there is a snapshot that it's weekly for the reward, and there's gonna be a snapshot that it's actually the 85% will be dependent on it.
Correct, exactly. So everybody's not going to receive their 85% that they were going to initially, right? That's all going to go into a pool, and then it's going to be allocated out based off of the percentage of what you have in your account, or what you have in your wallet from the pool. So if people also, it could also go down where people get less rewards, right? If I guess a lot of people were to purchase Flare. I'm not really sure the exact metrics, right? But yeah, essentially right now I think it's like an extra 6x or something on the rewards, something like that. I don't know, that you'll be receiving on a weekly basis.
So even if okay, so let me ask you one more question. Okay, so let's say I delegated my coins now, okay, and we have a month to get the snapshot, but we don't know when the snapshot is going to happen. Okay, so today I delegated. A week from now, it's gonna be a snapshot to take the weekly reward. Is that correct? And let's say the snapshot for the 85% didn't happen yet. So the weekly reward is gonna be included in the 85% too.
Yeah, it would be. Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
But this is also another reason why I think they're going to wait for like the FTSO rewards. Will probably wait to be distributed. Probably right along like that same time frame of like when they give people time to just get situated, right? Because if the distribution happens, there's still probably going to be a couple weeks before any of the stuff occurs, like any snapshots or any FTSO rewards being handed out, or any delegation being beginning, just so people can get off the exchanges and get it in their wallets if they want to participate.
Yeah. Let Tony ask a question because I took his question. Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead.
You're good, Egyptian. No, my question was just have any other exchanges updated their status on the airdrop?
Hugo said the other day, he said that Coinbase says they're handing out the tokens. So if Coinbase said,
okay.
I mean, that is specifically what I think they've also been doing over the last like month or so, is just speaking with the exchanges and making sure that they're good to go. He also put a post out the other day that said he spoke with Celsius and was like, promising, but we'll hope to speak with the team in the future to see exactly what's going on.
Good luck with that.
Wow, cringe.
Oh, that's so not gonna happen. Let's say that.
Probably not. Well, so where does that go though? It's going to go to a wallet. Who owns that wallet?
Yeah, it's a bankruptcy. They're
Right.
gonna pay people.
Might as well pass in Terra Luna 2.0.
Yeah. Uh,
They have They had $3.4 billion worth of customers' money, and they're $1.4 billion in debt.
yeah. Thank you for answering my question. That was really informative. Yeah, you are the man. Thanks.
That's what I do. I'm trying my best, at least.
You're being arrogant.
And there, listen,
You're
there's
being
also
cocky now. Okay, I told you are the man. Don't. No, I really appreciate it. You can be arrogant.
yeah. And listen, and there are things that could still change, right? Like this proposal could also not be voted in, and everybody could say, "Nah, you know what? We heard the community. We don't want to have our lives threatened because too many people are crazy. We're just not going to vote it in, right?" Like it could
Annoying.
play that way, and then exchanges closed,
Sorry.
and then all those people who were upset that they weren't going to get their token don't get anything anyway because the exchange closed down, so it just takes it all like Celsius.
And I have feeling a lot of people is not gonna understand what we're talking about right now. I have feeling, because if I didn't know it, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people is not gonna know it.
Well, what if the exchanges don't? What if like your exchange doesn't? What if Coinbase decides not to vote?
You have
Right?
to
Like
take it out.
Well,
You have,
then I would be one of the people that would be screwed over because I didn't know. I was a rookie back then. I didn't know anything, and I just had to do it with Coinbase. So yeah, I mean, I didn't have a lot of XRP back then. I had just started, but
you, Tony,
you
you
know,
have to take your okay. In this case, if you're on Coinbase, you transfer your coins to Bifrost, and you delegate, and that's how you get the rest of your
well,
coin.
I mean, I try to. I don't want to get into it right now, but I'll DM you guys since we have a chat, and then I'll see how I can word it on what happened because I'm gonna need some help with it later on, and then maybe we can address it in the space because I know I'm not the only one who has this issue.
Well, what happened?
It's kind of I need to get the info together, and but yeah, I mean we can discuss it on the next space or something if that's okay.
Sure, yeah, of course.
I just need to get everything together.
Was it Coinbase not handing you out the Songbird token?
Um, it's yeah, I didn't get the Songbird token. I don't know exactly. So I claimed it from my ledger, but I used the Coinbase wallet. So when I go to my Coinbase wallet, um, Songbird doesn't show up. Obviously, Flare's not showing up right now.
So all you have to do is import the seed phrase out of that Coinbase wallet. So you're saying the Ethereum wallet because you took a snapshot of or you used two different addresses. One was an XRP address and one was an Ethereum address. You're saying the Ethereum address you used was your Coinbase wallet Ethereum address?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I go to the Coinbase wallet, it has
Yeah.
Ethereum. It has the Ethereum thing, the address and everything, but I
So
don't
if
see
you
anything else.
that key into Bifrost, your tokens will be right there.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay.
What the only reason you don't see it is because Coinbase never built support to attach to the RPC
Oh.
the
Okay.
API data and have a wallet from the Songbird network. So you can't have
Okay.
access.
Like I said, I need to get because I need to find some. I don't know how to put it together, but yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it would
I'll
be
let you
also
guys know
Flare. So if you're going to get Flare dropped to that same address,
because
if you import that address into and it's hot wallet to hot wallet, so it's not a big deal. If you import that address into Bifrost, your Flare is just going to drop straight into Bifrost for you.
yeah, because when I went to the Flare, I don't know what it's called. But it shows if you go to some website
Yeah, Flare scan
and it
or XRP scan, it'll show you.
yeah the first one, the Flare one, and it shows Songbird and my Flare, and but I can't access it. So yeah, I don't know what I did. Maybe I did something wrong, or maybe like you're saying, like there's something else I need to do. But yeah, I need to get the info together, and then I'll let you guys know, and then we can discuss it because I know I've talked to other people about it, and they did the same thing, and they were not able to figure it out
Yeah,
either.
just so import the seed phrase. So whatever seed phrase you have for Coinbase Wallet into download Bifrost and import it in there, and let me know. It should just as soon as you import it, the Songbird should be right there for you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Doug.
Gotcha.
hey, Dev, what does RPC stand for?
Um,
See it, but I never really looked that up.
I know the last word is client. Hold on, let me think of it for a second. Darn it, it's a good one though. I had it in my head though when you first asked. Let me look it up real quick.
Oh, I hate it when that happens. On the tip of your tongue.
Oh, remote procedural call.
But what functionality? I mean, I know that's like how you connect to like this network or that network, but
Yeah, so I guess so the node, right? They're running as a node of the network, and so you're basically just making a call to their API to just, I guess, pull information from it, and that's how like a wallet would work, and or send some information to it. It's interesting because there's also RPCs are like attack vectors of networks in a sense because there's only so many RPCs, so not every node is hosting an RPC. It's like the bridges that people use to actually access the network.
is it like a WebSocket or an API connection or
API connection, yeah.
Hmm.
It's like your gateway. It's the gateway to the network.
Yeah. I
Which is
guess when I use MetaMask, I just think of it as like the here, like connect to the Ethereum network or connect to the Songbird network or
so
whatever.
every time you connect to it, you're connecting to somebody's RPC that's being hosted somewhere.
Well, who does the hosting? Because that would certainly, as you said, be an attack vector.
Yep. And so for Songbird and Flare in particular, I either use FTSO's AUs, which I know the guys like Neil and the team, they're pretty good. They're super smart guys, like Tim Rowley also. He has a couple videos on YouTube, had set up nodes and stuff. I mean, he does like a 30-minute node setup on YouTube. It's super easy to follow. And Toa Labs, which has obviously been a long time XRPL UNL node runner.
Yeah, I've used both of them. I didn't realize you were in contact with those guys, the AU guys. That's for Songbird. That basically used their service.
Yeah, they have the best app out for if you use like the web browser version. I think theirs is the cleanest. I think they also have an app you can download on the phone also now too, actually.
Oh, that's interesting. I actually need to log. I've been needing to log in there and claim some rewards because if you don't claim them, what is it? After 30 days or something, they expire or they're not claimable, or I don't know exactly how that works. But you got to go claim your rewards.
Yeah. And if you don't claim your rewards, they get put back into the delegation pool after a 90-day period.
Okay, so it's 90 days. All right, I'm good because I'm coming up on 30 days, and I was like, maybe I should go do that.
Yeah, it's 90. It's 90 days right now. I don't know if it'll always be that way, but they started it at 90 days. So yeah.
Well, that's good to know. That makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, I forget to do it. I usually will like get on like a Monday or something because I forgot to do it. Shellfish. Luckily, I was trying to like the FLR finance thing again out, and Shellfish reminded me that there's one of the FTSOs, Flare Oracle. I guess they're releasing their token distribution through FTSO rewards. So other than getting your whatever reward you would get, they're handing out their Fort token, which they're going to be used to purchase NFTs on their platform. And so I wanted to delegate to them for this epoch just because I have some of their stuff. So it's like just a multiplier thing or whatever. And they have a good reward rate, so I don't mind it.
Yeah, are you talking about Forte?
Forte, yeah. Is that the token name? I think it is, right? Shellfish, she's coming up good.
I don't know. But I did watch. It's a little bit old, maybe a couple weeks or something. A good conversation between Monica Long and a guy from Forte, and it was a good. It's worth your time.
You're definitely not the Forte thing.
Great. Like they were talking a lot about kind of some of the stuff that comes up in these chats sometimes with the gaming and how the gaming industry is usually an early adopter, and there was parts of it that went through the history of digital assets, going back before Bitcoin and all this, like to Second Life and,
Karma, early adopter of what?
What'd you say, Egyptian? And Shellfish, you got your hand up. So
Early adopter of what? Of cryptocurrency? Is a gaming? You talk about gaming?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
No, I'm talking to Karma. He said something about that video game, like video gamers are the early adopters. So I'm asking about.
Yeah, generally, when you have like an actual new technology, like look at drones, or crypto, etc., internet. The three industries that are the early adopters are games, porn, and crime.
Okay.
So, and if you go back, I don't know, a couple decades, you've got games that already had the idea of a digital asset. Like you earned this sword, or you earned like upgrading to this shield, right? Or this armor, or, I don't know I don't play any of this stuff, but you get these are the sword is like a digital asset. Like I used to think this stuff was absolutely crazy, like asinine.
Yeah.
But
the reason I ask you, it's because I thought the same thing like you, and you remember in our best spaces, I was saying the same thing like you, but I watched like some YouTube videos for gamers, and they push back a lot against cryptocurrency in gaming, a lot, and they have big.
That's really foolish. I think the technology is going to make their ability. It's going to change the gaming industry's business model.
But their argument is it already exists, like it already exists without actually having blockchain,
Yeah,
and
but it exists in a centralized form, right? Like, I have a friend of mine. I think this is crazy, but he spent what I would consider significant sum of money on one of these freaking games, and then all that value that he sunk into that game was stuck in that game. So you have a centralized system, right? Like, and sure, the game company, this is what I'm saying, their business model is going to change. The game company manages the market, right? You give us dollars, we give you digital assets. We're in charge. We're the market maker. Cool. Like, it's nice to be in charge, like that's a good spot to be. Versus you start introducing crypto and like blockchains and decentralization, and now all of a sudden, sure, I can use your centralized exchange, and I can use you as a market maker, Mr. Game person, and I probably would if I was playing games. Like, I mean, you guys made the game. I'll use you as a market maker. Fine, cool. But if I want to leave that game and move on to the next cool thing, like Fortnite or whatever the next thing after that's going to be, I can at least take my value and go through a different market maker and move my value over to Fortnite.
What I heard is because they say it's a nightmare to do something like that, and that's from like really reputable YouTube channels.
If you think that's a nightmare,
yeah,
step over, put your tie and suit on, and step over into the financial world with the regulators and banks. And you think the game's a nightmare? They're just a testing. They're just test. That's like getting things going.
When I find videos, I'll send it to you, Karma, because it's like their opinion actually surprised me. Because basically, one of the points that they made is cryptocurrency bring speculators, okay, to the games, and they don't like. So the people who play video games, they love video games, and having cryptocurrency in the game, it brings speculators, and it kind of ruins the whole experience for them. And that's why, like, gamers who loves really video gaming, they are pushing back so much against crypto or blockchain with video gaming, and I'm gonna find the video. I'm gonna like when I find the videos, I'm gonna send it to you because I was really surprised about their opinion, but I think it's worth listening to these people because those are the people who actually play the video games. Like I don't play video games, so
Well, I can see that. I mean, like I don't, this is it's I mean, it's not trolling, but it's in a sense like I try to have these conversations and keep them pretty cordial. Shellfish, we're coming to you, sorry. But and then you get essentially trolls that come in and they try to talk about I don't want to change the subject to some who knows what. And that changes the dynamic of the conversation. So if you have people stepping in, you have a game, right? And everybody's playing the game because it's fun. Like this is a fun game. We're here to play. Like I'm gonna beat you. You're gonna try and beat me. This is fun. And then you have like player 3 come in, and they're like, "I'm here to speculate."
yep.
Well, there's different motivations for player 3. So that's certainly going to change the dynamic of the game. This stuff's going to get worked out. It'll be a evolutionary process, but I can see where the original people that's like, you know what, I just like to compete. You like to compete. We do this. We play this game, and we're both trying to win, right? Versus what's this guy over here speculating on what? Like, why is he even in here? He's not even playing the game. Like, he's doing something totally different. Like, how is this? It's certainly going to change things. Shellfish, you wanted to speak?
Yeah, go ahead, Shellfish.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. With the Songbird link on the Coinbase and Bifrost, it's not an option on mobile, right? You have to do it on the desktop.
Sorry, can you say that again?
The Songbird that's on Coinbase, you said that we could link it to Bifrost and it would show up in our Bifrost wallet.
If you have a Coinbase wallet, which you use the Ethereum for, no, you would just import the seed phrase. Not that you're linking it. You're literally migrating the seed phrase over. So it's essentially the same wallet, same seed phrase, just that one has access to the network.
Gotcha.
Coinbase
Thank
wallet.
you.
Yeah. Do you know any more information about that the Fort token, Shellfish, that's coming from Flare Oracle?
I mean, other than if you have gears, you get better rewards. I thought there was something about you had to have it in there for 2 weeks, but I think that's just the standard. It doesn't show up in your wallet for 2 weeks, right?
What do you mean?
Well, like the reward cycle doesn't show up that week. It's like the following week, right? Where it pays out.
Yeah, so you would delegate, you would be locked in on Saturday, and then it depends on if it's their own personal reward, they could give it to you at the beginning of the epoch or the end of the epoch, the middle of the epoch. It doesn't matter because you're locked in essentially no matter what for the week. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's locked in this Saturday. They'll give you the reward next Saturday kind of thing. Or did you have to be delegating that to them for 2 different epoch cycles?
Yeah, for some reason I thought I had read that it was like for two epoch cycles, but maybe it was just the whole lock-in.
Cool. Welcome up, GDLT. How you doing today, man?
Hey, you record this conversation and you put in YouTube, am I right?
Yes, sir.
I think if you can edit the part where we talk about Flare, and I don't know, it's up to you on Karma, because I feel a lot of people don't understand what's going on with distribution. Maybe the question I ask and your answer is gonna help people. Yeah, it's kind of really important,
Oh yeah, well it'll definitely be on there and on Twitter as well. So I don't know. I'm not the editor, but we upload it live, so it's I don't know if we'd be able to.
I can edit it for you guys if you want to. I do that every day. If you want my help, I will do it. You know.
Well, there's probably opportunities because there's sometimes different portions of these conversations that could be cut up into little, 5 minute, couple minute sound bites, but we haven't gotten there yet. But yeah, they are actually live streamed and then they stay on YouTube. And they stay on YouTube permanently. On Twitter, Twitter only keeps them around for 30 days. So you got 30 days to listen to it there.
In YouTube, I can go get it and I can edit it and I will send it to you guys if you want to use it, because I think it's really informative,
Yeah, Jay, if you want to just cut the little flare section out, 100%, we'll upload that and just say this is the particular, flare convo and post it to the Twitter. I don't mind that. That just helps people.
After the space, can you send me the link of the video and I will do it, okay?
Yeah, sure. Or you can follow us on, YouTube, please. Subscribe. And everybody in the space could also give us a subscribe on YouTube and follow at ledgerscale and turn notifications on so you know when we're going live. We do these spaces Monday through Friday, and on Wednesdays a 5 to 6, and typically we do them Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 3:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, we got to get the Ledger Scale account up over 1,000, so that'll unlock some functionality. So yeah, please do YouTube as well. And
actually, Karma, if you want that channel to grow, I think if you can cut certain parts of the conversation and put like videos about it, like for example, the flare conversation we have today, if it happen, you can edit the conversation and put like small, maybe 8 or 9 minutes short videos about certain topic. It will actually help grow the channel for you.
yeah, the general attention span maxes out about 20 minutes. So unfortunately, that's 15-20 minutes is mostly what folks are. Anyway, it's just what it is. So yeah, we could definitely cut these up into tons of little bite-size pieces. It's a good idea. For some reason, I keep trying to approve Shellfish here to come up and speak. It doesn't seem. I hope this app doesn't crash on me.
Yeah, it doesn't even say she wants to come up to speak to me. That's weird.
No, dude, Twitter's not the best, man. I mean, it's good. There's a community, there's a network. Those are benefits, but the actual thing working is a little wonky.
It's only for looking. There, GDLT?
What's up, guys? How's it going? Good to see you.
How you doing today?
Doing good. Yeah, just looking forward to the future of the XRPL and what's going on here with the community you guys are building, and just joining in and keeping my ears open.
Awesome. Thank you for joining, man. I'm really waiting for this Ledger City email. I was hoping I was gonna be like one of the first ones to get to go check it out, but I'm just not one of the lucky ones.
Dude, I need to get into Ledger City. I haven't played with it yet.
Well, so they're sending, if you've signed up and everything already, every week they're sending, I think it was 500 emails for like VIP access to like get in and test out the beta. And I have a friend who was on the first email list, but I have definitely not been on any email list yet.
Did you play, did you see the gameplay or no? This?
Yeah, I did see the graphics and stuff. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw.
How do you like? Okay.
I thought it was going to be actually worse, the gameplay, but so I was kind of surprised how smooth it is. I kind of personally wish it's an in-browser game, but right now you got to download it onto your desktop computer. So you know, they're hoping this thing can be on cell phones and tablets and things like that in the future. So we're at the ground floor, but it's a little bit better than what I was expecting. I was thinking really clunky and whatnot, but you know, if they can get to that Unreal Engine Graphics 5, it could be something pretty cool.
Okay, so GDLT, did you play with it?
Yeah, I claimed one of my buildings. Got to see it, but it's a beta version, and it's like kind of a testing version, so it's only single player. They want to do ultimately when they open up to make it multiplayer, and you know,
So
add
if,
NFTs and things like that.
yeah, so if somebody logged in the game, you cannot see them in the world and whatever in the Ledger City.
I have a
You can,
question about this because part of my hesitation why I've not gone and played with it is I don't like the idea that the size of your building is based on the size of your wallet. I feel like that's a little bit too much disclosure.
Yeah, exactly. It's not
I
good.
mean, but what's the difference between that and like a NFT that you hold? Let's say you have a Bored Ape NFT. That's like, oh, you could tell that person has a lot of money because they have a Bored Ape NFT.
But
Well, I mean, I don't have a Bored Ape NFT, but I don't want one either, actually.
Or any NFT for that matter. Like all these NFTs are just people bolstering that they have something cool.
Well, that's called braggadocious, and I don't do that's
like
I hear you. I hear you.
choice, you know what I mean? Because some people, yeah, some people like to brag, some people don't, you know. So if it's a choice, it would have been better. Because for me, I don't want to also show how much I have, which I don't have that much, but yeah, I still don't want to show what I have.
What you could do is you could like open up a small wallet and just send some XRP over there, and then just sign up.
Yeah.
I mean, I do play with it. I really do want to play with it. I think it's a cool.
I understand.
I think the concepts that they're doing in the long run, like say 10 years, are going to meld with the concepts that like what's Proppy doing are going to meld with some of my prior work if these people are smart enough to listen. And this other guy's work, the patent work for registering land titles. And it's going to be, dude, this is a big, complicated problem. But it's one that needs solving. And I think that I see all of these individual projects as kind of chipping away at the big problem, right? Like you're not going to go cut that big tree down with one axe whack, right?
Yeah, death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to take time. These things are going to have to come together. You're going to need someone that's capable of sort of bringing them together, you know, conceptually, but actually also so there's a difference between know-how and do-how. You're going to have both of them. You're going to have know-how, and you're also going to have do-how.
Okay, Karma, since we have G, so right now, if you want to participate in the game, you go and play in the Ledger City, you're going to be all by yourself. You're not going to see anybody else.
Well, that'll change.
Right.
I mean, give it
For
time.
now, it's solo.
Okay.
It's just for them to test it out, get the bugs in, have any concerns from the people who are participating in it. You know, I'm sure there's already been a bunch of things they've discovered through this early access process, and the more people who come on, the better.
Yeah, and I haven't actually got to play yet, so like I don't know how the feel of it, like running around and stuff. That's I think that was pretty smooth. My friend told me it was the graphics, and if they're using Unreal Engine, that's high potential at least.
Yeah. So how many? How long did you have access to it?
I was lucky to get access day one, but it's not like a race to claim land or anything like that since it's a beta. You just claim your building and it's already set in a specific land. But I think when they do go big with this thing, it will be like you get to choose the location where you place your building or land plot at. So, yeah, it's probably going to be a very different game when it gets full release.
So based on what
Right now, it's just kind of like a visualizer of the XRPL and seeing all the buildings. That there's a lot of people with XRP accounts, that's for sure.
so let me ask you something. It's a stupid question, but let me ask you. So let's say I have certain amount of XRB on my wallet, and then while I'm playing, I transfer some XRB. Will my building go down like smaller if at the same time when I'm transferring?
Yeah, so far people have been trying to do that in this test phase to see if they can see their building go down in front of them. They do have plans for that in the future where there'll be like an animation that accompanies your building, like getting smaller because your account got smaller, and then the same way getting bigger too. But right now it's like you log on and then you do the transfer, log off, come back on, and then your building is smaller.
Okay, so it's not a stupid question. People thought about this. Okay, good.
Maybe we
No,
should.
yeah. For some people, for some reason, people are really interested to see like these buildings fluctuating in size. Like they want to like you see people selling and adding to their buildings and stuff.
Hey G, I'm glad it's building sizes, not something else. Okay, good, because it's kind of like
Hey, Death. Maybe we should. Maybe I'll jump on there and join with like a ledgerscale account because people have said we should do
Totally, yeah.
like a classroom in there, like a meeting room. Kind of like these, but on there.
100%.
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the perks of Ledger City is doing those type of things.
So, do you design your character when you're in this?
Right now, you just select from a custom set of avatars, but there's a good variety so far. But I do believe, like in the future, they want to add, more customization options. Like, I think first and foremost, you'll probably be able to like customize the buildings and add like NFTs on the outside of them to like kind of attract maybe people to visit your building, for example, or to purchase your NFTs on those buildings or to exchange with you or what have you, maybe do lessons and meetings and stuff like that. But yeah, then maybe down the line, you'll be able to get like a car NFT in that game and then customize that and then customize your avatar, It's very early days. Very early days.
I can be sugar daddy in the game, am I right? That would be amazing. Okay.
Wait, you could be super what in the game?
Sugar daddy.
Yeah, you could be a sugar daddy in the game, Egyptian.
Yeah. My dream is gonna come true. Here we go. Yeah.
You're gonna own a whole block, Egyptian.
I know. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna hear stories about Ledger City. I have a feeling.
The only goofy thing to me is like I really don't play these games, so for me like the learning curve is okay. I get the tech, that's kind of fine, but like, dude, I don't. What am I doing in this game? Why am I doing whatever it is I'm doing? What's the purpose? Like, I don't.
Typically, I get my pleasure in gaming from causing other people displeasure. So it's usually like being able to eliminate them in a game. And for me, that's where I get my pleasure. And I know everybody's different. That's why there's so many different games out there. But
no, that's why you're the Death Ranger.
Yeah. But I'm more interested to see what people would do with it. Like that's more for me. I'm not gonna play it because it's kind of like it's for me. I don't like to play these games, but I'm interested to see what people will do with it. Because people sometimes they're smart. They do things that you don't even imagine it would be done.
I'm telling you, this is all going to change the real estate market. I see this where I've been looking at this for Jesus Louises, a while, long time. I don't even want to say how long, but a long time. And I see this as another step up the stairs in the same direction as things have been cranking along for a while. And this is going to This kind of stuff is going to completely change the real estate industry. Like people won't recognize in 10, 15 years, people would, okay, dude, so much is going to change in the real estate. Like the structure of the industry is going to change. The idea that you're going to pay 6% to a real estate commission, or get out of town. You try that, and somebody's going to punch you in the face because you're trying to rip them off. Like get out of here. There's going to be digital embodiments of all this stuff, which is like ledgerscale. The business model is going to change. There's going to be fractional ownerships. There's going to be management companies that administer the fractional ownerships. There's software that needs to do the pricing mechanisms that nobody has yet. There's all kinds of stuff. The crypto is going to play right into it, because then you got your transactional stuff, which is going to make the fractional ownership economically viable. Otherwise, it would just be you'd kill yourself with the. It's like the karma coverage business model wouldn't work if you can't do transactions for very cheap. The transaction costs for like credit card payments at 3% that invalidates the business model. So once these things are brought down, then the industry's enabled to change. It's like how it's set up. This is a big deal. I don't look at ledgerscale as a game, frankly. And what's the other one? I've talked to both of those guys. What's the other one? There's ledgerscale and Ledger City or something like that, or not?
Yeah, Ledger City game.
Ledger City and
No, the other one's the one is built on the Microsoft game, not the Microsoft game. Is that
Zopcraft?
Yeah. Like these two, I've talked to both of these guys. I told them both the same thing I'm saying now. Like, this is way, way, way bigger than just a game. I mean, it might be a game now, but it's not going to be a game later.
But still, also as a
Definitely.
You see what people do with Minecraft, and they create like they create sometimes like some kind of art with pixelated stuff. It looks really good. And so I want to see if people is gonna do the same with Ledger City and stuff like that. You don't know what people would come up with. People are smart this way, so we'll see. I'm excited.
And that's what makes Ledger City really interesting. It being, replicating the XRPL. So like whatever the XRPL is doing, you're seeing the game do. You're also seeing it's an open source game, so developers can come in and really make some big contributions to this game if they really, are inspired to do so. And possible DeFi aspects that come out of this. What if there's like incentives to be keeping your building at a certain size, right? And what if you earn LCC token passively for keeping your building to a certain size with your XRP, and that allows you to purchase the in-game stuff that you need LCC token for to use in the game. And then once again, you don't even have to participate in Ledger City game. You could just get a visualization of what the XRPL looks like in like a world or city format too. Like so far in the beta, you can download it and you don't even need an account. You can just click explore and then fly around the whole Ledger City with the random avatar just to get a cool visualizer and see the accounts.
So you can fly?
Yeah, you can fly.
Holy crap. Okay, I'm on it.
He can fly, he can fly, he can fly.
And I think we have to close the space up in like 15 minutes or so. So if anybody would like to come up, please feel free to hit the request. If you'd like to change the subject, I mean, there's no dumb questions. I mean, this is why we do this, because not only do I hope everybody find it valuable, but I find everybody's opinions valuable.
I ask a lot of dumb questions, so somebody please raise the intelligence. So
are we not going to 5:30, or we're killing it at 5?
Yeah, it looked like yeah.
Egyptian always has the best questions.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have more
I
questions,
don't know, man. There's a lot of people that join these chats. I've been really, quite frankly, surprised. Genuinely surprised. Like, we've had the guy from the central bank, we've had the other guy from the World Bank, we've had some other people that I know who they are behind that name that are pretty big people. It's been pretty kind of interesting. I mean, I just started these just
Karma,
you know.
Karma, you ever hear back from Prince Charlie?
Eventually.
Someone said, I mean, I've got his email. I did a Zoom chat with him, so I wanted to verify that he was actually real. He is. Does really work for the
No,
Central
I
Bank of
mean,
England.
a couple of weeks ago, we talked about how his account just went rogue, like he's MIA.
Yep, deleted.
Well, if I wanted to, I could probably scratch through my emails and email him. But no, I haven't even tried. I don't. What's the why? I mean, I guess I could invite him on for a Wednesday chat, but on a focus topic. But no, I did verify he was a real person. We did a video chat. I saw his face. It's the same act, same voice, same guy. Verified his stuff with the Bank of England. He's real.
It wasn't a scam hiding a different personality? Are you sure?
No, I did a chat with him. He definitely does not have the same voice as scams.
Okay. I like conspiracy theories. Yeah. I need to get scam on Zoom call. That would be a good YouTube video. It would be really perfect. Yeah.
He's a knowledgeable guy. I don't know why he
Yeah. Until it comes to Bitcoin.
Yeah. Whatever.
Then his knowledge stops when it comes to Bitcoin.
I think he brings like good stuff to the table, in my opinion, because like he breaks the, like all the noise in the echo chamber. I'm particularly like I appreciate such people because many things are not questioned, and it's not an either or. Like, you can accept facts and you can still be pro whatever it is. But some people just fight to death for everything. I feel like this is not necessary. So, and he's just using it maybe sometimes, just to trigger people. But the thing is just to accept certain things because, I mean, if they are facts, then facts, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely knowledgeable. He knows a lot of facts. There was another guy that used to come in here more or less trolling, and I got the sense that he was just really good at looking at forums, like looking up old posts or something. But no, he does know what he's talking about, for sure. And he knows it on the fly, right? Like, which means he actually has the knowledge in his head. He's not Googling stuff.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. We have like in this community, in this like around XRPL, we definitely do not like any cults or whatever, like as much as we like point to Bitcoin and everything, like we have the same figures here as well, and so
yeah, it's important to be careful about not falling into
exactly. Yeah,
because you're if you watch the social physics or look at that kind of math and whatnot, basically you have this was based on a bunch of research from investment returns from eToro investors, because there's some social elements to, like, you don't know who I am, but you can follow my portfolio, right? And you can be like, oh, this guy's portfolio is doing good or bad or whatever. And for the users that basically are in their own head, right? They don't follow anybody. They don't expose themselves to new ideas and etc., they have pretty low returns. Then you have people that engage and they get exposed to a lot of ideas, and their returns go up. I mean, it's almost like a perfect bell curve, basically. And then on the other end of the bell curve, you have echo chambers where people I'm sorry, but Bitcoin's basically an echo chamber. And there's a little bit of one here with the XRP community. I just think that the XRP community people come in and anyway, but especially with Bitcoin, it's a digital gold. Like, come on, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I mean, look, Cameron, we have equally, like, because we are a smaller subset. So I think, like, if you look at distribution, I would say almost the same, if not a bit more, because like we have all these people, who like strongly believe in, because they see, okay, XRP, what does kind of value it has, whatever, and they fall like for all this stuff about, Bitcoin can go up to $10,000. Like someone was quoting David Schwartz where he was like saying, if Bitcoin, if XRP goes to 10K, then fees would be 10 cents or something. And people are like, see, he said it.
Dude,
Or like the Fed
remind me.
buyback and all that crap. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Vet, don't remind me, please, because it's like
Yeah.
I did a tweet like that freaking years ago, and I was like, just here's at these different prices of XRP, here's the fee, just to explain kind of the how this can scale up. I do think the XRP community, and I am biased, but I do think the XRP community is not pretty like smart, man. I mean, like a lot of the people in this room right now are pretty freaking smart. Okay. So it's not like, and if something doesn't make sense to me or anybody in here, they're most likely going to be like, bullshit, right? Like how is that going to actually work out? Because that's not how it works in reality.
Yeah, but Kamara, we have like also in my opinion, too many of these finance people, because these people, they look all like, because it's like aimed towards payments and stuff. And like, I mean, it can power so much things, and you have vertical scaling and all that stuff. Without looking really into the technicals, like they think cross-border payments and everything, it's like in the flip switch, it all plays together, and it's all BS. Matter of fact, like a small fun fact, the XRPL ledger can do cross-border payments right now. I would say, what have I read from Wheat is around 150 transactions per second. 150. It's no we 1,500 or whatever, like nowhere near. And people think like, yeah, it can scale up this much. It can, but what is your time frame? 20 years, 50 years? I don't know, but certainly not over time, overnight. Absolutely not.
Well,
yeah.
I understand your point, but let me push back on you just a little bit, because when I first stumbled into this situation, it was a bunch of mostly technical folks, and they were coming up with these ideas, which were good ideas from a technical perspective. But it was like, dude, that's just not how markets work. Like, you're just barking up the wrong tree. So I think there is some room. This is what's difficult about crypto. You got to have the multiple bodies of knowledge, and you got to bring them together, and that's hard.
I think it's expectation management, Karma, because I mean, I'm well aware of this, and I still can say with all my confidence, hey, the XRPL has the best probability out of the other blockchains, or maybe similar good probabilities, to be the one that is best suited for XYZ, but but I don't give a time frame, like. If people think, like, then 2022, 2024, 2025, I don't know, because I see what is capable right now, and what is possible right now absolutely does not cover whatever people say it can, or that Ripple does. I mean, Ripple has a private net, they have a private ledger where they offer their services. They are not, like kind of on the same boat in that sense. So they can scale up in that sense faster for their customers. So we are not traveling at the same speed in that sense, you know. Like we kind of just started going. Like we are on a good path for sure.
I get,
but expectation management, you know.
You're also kind of describing the there's a cartoon. I can see it in my head where like the train is going down the track, but like the conductor is like laying the track in front of the train, like right before it. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
No track. You're just kind of. It's basically, I consider that kind of the wayfinding process, and I do think this industry. I think Ripple's found their way, but I do think most of the market participants in this crypto industry are still somewhere in the mid to say half to 3/4 of the way through the wayfinding. You know, some of them found out that their way wasn't going to work. Terra Luna, Celsius, there's going to be more. Yeah, this industry is still in that stage.
But let me tell you something. XRP community scares me, and I'm biased to XRP. Okay, like if we become like number one coin, some of the community is gonna be even worse than Bitcoin Maxi.
It doesn't matter what community you're in, where you're in the world, Egyptian humans are humans.
Yes.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. Yeah.
Luckily, it's a smaller amount of humans than the BTC maxis.
I will give you that though, yeah.
Did you see what Max Kaiser said? He said if Bitcoin came 10 years earlier, September 11 wouldn't happen.
Wow. He said that?
I will share it.
Max Kaiser is insane. He is literally insane.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Did he? Oh my goodness. I'm stumbling, trying to think of how could you logically come to that conclusion. What?
I don't even. Yeah, exactly. I don't understand how the two were even remotely.
Dude, the dude's high off cocaine. I wouldn't take anything he says seriously.
Here, I shared that with you guys. It's, you know, if Satoshi had released Bitcoin 10 years earlier, September 11 would never happen. Max Kaiser. Yeah.
Because you get.
No, did he wait? Did he really say that?
I have, dude.
Would
no,
Russia invading Ukraine still happen? Oh yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, we wouldn't have global warming. You know, if Bitcoin was adapted.
Actually, you know why we have the petrol is such a big part of our energy consumption is from Rockefeller. Believe it or not, because at the time when the oil, okay, so it was whale oil. Okay, lighting was there were no automobiles at the time. Lighting was the key use for oil, so it was whaling oil, and then they made kerosene, and so then that took over the supply. That's where Rockefeller made his initial money, and then automobiles came around, electricity came around, and people were starting to phase out the kerosene lamps because they're dangerous, right? You can burn your house down. Most people had wood houses back then, and so then Rockefeller was like, well, you know, basically my business is getting eaten up by this electricity thing, and these people are running a light. The light was the killer app for the freaking electricity grid, you know, because you had to build that network out too, and so then the automobiles came around, and they had electric vehicles all the way back in the 1800s, but the Rockefeller, you know, seeing his sales for supplying kerosene for lights, realized they could change things and do gasoline and oil for the cars. And so he helped kill the electric vehicles in the late 1800s. And then I think that ultimately turned into Standard Oil. I forget exactly how that went down. But yeah, that's basically what happened with that. So, yeah, Bitcoin has nothing to do with global warming. It's ridiculous. But that's a funny joke. Whoever made that joke. I got a kick out of it.
Well, that's a good way to end the space, I guess, on that joke there. But I thank everybody for coming and everybody that comes up to speak. I mean, like I always say, this we wouldn't be doing these if everybody didn't find them valuable. And I love that everybody comes up and speaks with us. It's always a great chat. If you could give us a follow at ledgerscale, and turn notifications on so you know when we're going live. We do these Monday through Friday, as well as give us a follow on YouTube if you'd like to listen to these spaces on a different platform at another time. But love everybody.
Yeah, we do appreciate everybody joining and your participation particularly. That's what makes it fun. The questions and everything. If you want to support us, we do have some crypto addresses at the top of our Twitter profile. So if you want to contribute there for the time being, hopefully I'll get this worked out soon. In the next week, we'll have other non-crypto methods to contribute, but otherwise, we'll see you. We'll be back on Monday.
Yes, we'll be back on Monday, and we're going to have a great